Facebook. What's going on, man? Smeech TV. How you guys doing out there today? Hope everybody's well. It's cold on this Friday. Stay bundled up, dress warm, stay safe, take care of yourself, man. Got that out the way. Let's dive straight into it. I'm sure you guys heard by now, the Cal Rittenhouse guy, found not guilty on all three charges. First and foremost, I want to say this, get this out there. Me personally, Meech, I don't wish prison on nobody. You know what I'm saying? I don't, a lot of people call him prison for Trump, this guy, Cat. I don't wish it on nobody. You know what I'm saying? If you never been there, you don't know what that's like, you know what I'm saying? Through experience, I won't wish it on nobody. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you MAGA. I don't care if you Black Power or whatever have you. You know what I'm saying? The rival gang, the rival neighborhood. I don't care who you are. I don't wish it on nobody. Okay. Now, I told people, I was wrong in the date. Over the weekend, I said, man, they're gonna deliberate. They're gonna start Monday. I said he be found not guilty by Wednesday. I was 2 days off. Oh well. But anyway, the dude is off. He was tried. But here's what I want to talk about. People don't want to admit it, but there's two kind of justice. There's black justice and there's white justice. You know what I'm saying? Now, what I mean by, I ain't got to explain what I mean by that. You know what I mean by that. Shit is clear. It's clear. It's out there. So, want to tell you guys a story, man. But I'm gonna use the Cal Rittenhouse. I'm gonna intertwine the story. You know what I'm saying? So, just follow me. Okay. You take a guy, 116, the black guy. You take another guy, 17, white guy. Okay. You take the 16-year-old black guy. He's in his neighborhood, being, doing what a 16-year-old does, just knucklehead stuff, you know what I'm saying, chasing the girls and stuff like that. Getting in stuff, you know what I'm saying, probably shouldn't get into, but, hey, like I say, 16. So the 16-year-old started getting death threats. Don't pay it no mind, because he's never approached actually physically from the person that is sending these death threats. Okay. Boom. Pause on 16. Black kid. 17-year-old. He's watching, he claims that he's watching the protests and riots on the television. So he takes upon himself, I guess because he feels that he's a patriot, he wants to go do something about this. Arms himself with an AR-15, comes across, state lines and stuff like that, sold the bullshit out, you know what I'm saying, telling America that it was already there, however, whatever. Okay, let's just say it was already there in Wisconsin, Kenosha, okay, we're gonna give it to you. However, you knew that gun was there. Okay, now, pause on the 17 white kid. Back to the 16-year-old black kid. Now, the kid, the 16-year-old is in his neighborhood, minding his own business, gets off the school bus that day, in the neighborhood, just, running with the fellas and stuff like that. He's finally approached by the guy that was making these threats to him and his other friends. Again, he's finally approached by this guy with a gun, flashing his gun, asking him questions about what happened in a certain incident and stuff like that, and stuff like that, Pause that. Back to the 17-year-old white kid. Okay. He goes there where it's already mass hysteria, where it's already the ruckus and the negativity in that area that he went to, you know what I'm saying? He knew the chances of, something could pop off. His words, he bought his rifle for protection, but he didn't feel he needed protection. Okay. Now, he's there in the midst of things, saying that he was a medic, which he wasn't. It turned out that was a lie, saying he was a medic. So he goes and walking around, and trying to look like, he's trying to restore order, you know what I'm saying, with his AR-15. So now walking around, now there's certain threats. He's pointing his gun at people. People see that, they take offense, they start throwing stuff at him. Now, okay, again, the 17-year-old is the aggressor here. Pause on the 17-year-old white kid. Go back to the 16-year-old kid, black kid. Okay, again, he's approached by this guy. The guy threatens him. The 16-year-old does not have a gun on him. He just the little 16-year-old in the neighborhood just running around, a little snot nose. So anyway, the guy that was threatening him, that's now approached him face to face, told him he will be back. What would you do? No, like any other person, the 16-year-old goes to arm himself. He doesn't call the police. What's the police gonna do? You know what I'm saying? He calls the police and tell the police what just happened, what is. I'm saying, he's considered a snitch. You know what I'm saying? In the environment that the 16-year-old comes from, he's considered a snitch. Police is not gonna save him. Okay, so anyhow, he goes to arm himself because the guy he just approached him with a gun and told him he would be back. Pause, 16-year-old kid, black kid, pause on him. Back to the 17-year-old. Okay, he's out there, like I said, he's pointing gun, they throwing stuff at him, making threats. Okay, so now, at this moment, he doesn't feel he needs a police because he got his AR-15 on him. He doesn't call the police, okay? So, he in his mind is, I wish a motherfucker would run up on me. You know what I'm saying? Hey. If that's his mindset, that's his mindset. But, okay, now, needless to say, one person gets shot, two persons get shot, three dead. Pause. On the 17-year-old white kid. Back to the 16-year-old. Okay. He goes and arms himself. And guess what? That guy that threatened him and approached him kept his promise. He came back for a second time. This time, the 16-year-old was ready. So, and it's messed up to have both for the 16-year-old and the 17-year-old. It's fucked up to have that mentality to have to go to the gun. I mean, it's just fucked up. You're still a kid, 16, 17, you're still a kid. But to have that mentality, go arm yourself with a gun, bring a gun. It's something that's been taught to these two individuals from their own community. You understand what I'm saying? So, with that being said, he goes, he comes back, he keeps his promise. Words exchange, boom. 16-year-old gets off first. One shot, boom. Okay. Pause on that. From 16-year-old, back to the 17-year-old. Now, the 17-year-old, he's out there, he's in the shit, he's in it. He's in the shit. So, he's out there, motherfuckers threatening. So, running up on him wasn't wise. I will agree with that. It's not wise running up on someone with a gun that is showing you he has a gun. It's not wise. However, whatever, anger is flaring. People don't care at this moment, I'm saying, because of the situation that's going on, So, this guy shoots these people, shoots them down. The police lets him go, tell him to go home. Actually tells him thank you for his services out there, for lying, saying he was a medic and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, end up getting locked up for these charges. Christian churches help raise his bond of 100,000, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Christian people. Pause on 17-year-old white kid. Back to the black kid. 16-year-old black kid. Okay, he does it, in his mind, that in that 16-year-old's mind, that guy was gonna kill him. Later turns himself in, has a public defender. His family can't afford a private attorney. Gets slammed in the penitentiary. Use the self-defense as defense. But at that time, there was no self-defense law in Kentucky. Are you listening? Back in 94, 95, there was no self-defense law in Kentucky. Unheard of. However, the prosecutor of that trial said that it was premeditated murder on behalf of the 16-year-old. Did you hear that? It was premeditated murder on the behalf of the 16-year-old because he went and got him a gun. Now, mind y'all, it's a double-edged sword, y'all. If the 16-year-old had already had a gun, they would have said he was just a little young thug out looking for trouble. But he didn't have a gun, so he go arm himself because he was finally approached by someone that was making these life-threatening threats towards him and his friends. So, the jury saw it the way the prosecutor laid it out. Didn't see it the way that it was. They didn't see it that the police, her name was Officer Lett, she came and removed the gun out of the victim's hand on the scene. They never, with gray tape on the handle and trigger for no fingerprints. This is all evidence, this is all facts. The piece of paper with the 16-year-old's name on it and his phone number, along with two other guys and their phone number, like his hit list. But see, the jury never did take in consideration to that. You know, so the 16-year-old gets found guilty. Yes, get found guilty. And was supposed to be in a jury of his peers. See, that's where we get lost in the sauce right there, y'all. They want to say jury of your peers. The 16-year-old lived down in poverty in the ghetto. None of those 12 jurors live within 20 miles of where he lived. You understand what I'm saying? They get all the people way out in the suburbs because guess what? What does the suburbs see on the news about downtown areas? Oh, they all bad people. So they already got their mind made up. You understand what I'm saying? Now, let me pause on the 16-year-old. Black kid. Go back to the white kid, the white 17-year-old. Now, again, did he fear for his life? From me watching the tapes, it's a possibility. They was kicking him. He was on the ground. Again, I will say this. It's not wise to run up on anybody with a gun. Okay? So, again, did those 3 victims have guns on them? They did not. Did they reveal any guns on them? To Cal? They did not. So it goes to the point back to where, you know, motherfuckers can't do these no more. Gotta use guns. You know what I'm saying? Not talking about Cal, but in general, coward motherfuckers can't do these no more. You know what I'm saying? Fight. But anyway, 3 people got killed with no guns on them. With no guns. Okay? Obviously, Cal came as the aggressor. So, aggression meets aggression. You understand what I'm saying? With that being said, he you know what I'm saying, gets arrested, charges, again, you know what I'm saying, bail was made for $100,000, whatever it was, you know what I'm saying, by these white Christians, you know what I'm saying, that believe in that he was a kid and stuff like that. Okay. Again, I don't wish prison on nobody, but I'm just giving you a story. I'm just trying to show you how different it is between black justice and white justice. There is a difference. For y'all that keep saying it's not, you full of shit. And if it's don't tell you today on this Friday, when that boy got found not guilty on all 3 charges. But anyway, so now, 17-year-old, I'm still on him, 17-year-old. Now he's 18. Okay, gets found not guilty because he said he feared for his life. Maybe he did. Like I say, you seen the videos. You know what I'm saying? It's your take on however you want to take it. But I'm just giving you a story on between how you know what I'm saying, justice works for one and don't for the other. Now, back to pause on 17-year-old white kid, back to the 16-year-old white kid. Okay. So, now, 16-year-old tells the jury he feared for his life. Testifies in his own behalf. So, like, what? The 16-year-old was never the aggressor. The 16-year-old was in his own neighborhood with no gun on him, but was approached with someone with a gun telling him he'll be back, making threats to him in his face. So that's just human instincts to go protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it was so crazy because like they want to say, and I'm combining both of these together right now, the 16 and 17. They want to say with the 16-year-old, oh, he shouldn't have had access to no gun, no how. That's ridiculous. How can a 16-year-old have access? But the 17-year-old had a fucking AR, and he kept saying through his trial, my rifle. Do you hear that? My rifle. Okay? See how different this shit is? See, society itself shows you a difference. You take a white guy, he takes his son out, 6 or 7 years old, y'all, teach him to hunt. Training him to be a fucking killer, getting his aim right and everything. But that's okay, because it's considered a sport and it's white. But you got people that live in the ghetto that's in poverty, that's living in desperation, I mean, just depression and all that stuff, I'm saying, and you know, have to really kick, scratching and shit for their meals and do what they got to do for survival. They called animals. But anyway, man, that's another story, man. But anyway, y'all get the story. The 16-year-old was not the aggressor. The 17-year-old was more likely the aggressor. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, man, just put that out there, man. See what some of y'all thoughts on that, man. Share it with y'all and just show you, man, it's totally different. Black justice, white justice. You can't deny it. Today proves it to you. Again, you know, I don't wish prison on nobody. But I'm just saying, fair is fair, wrong is wrong. You know what I'm saying? As far as justice being served. It's lopsided like a motherfucker, man. It's lopsided like a motherfucker. Y'all know it. Anyway, man, I ain't gonna hold you guys up too much longer, man. Meech TV, man, I'm out.